Hey everyone, Newthany Music here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And I'm doing a video here that I almost didn't do if it wasn't for the fact that one of you guys hit me up, I think on Twitter or something, and was like, hey man, are you going to tell us what albums you're anticipating for 2017? I was like, god damn, I almost forgot to tell you guys what albums I was anticipating for this year. I almost forgot to make a list. And this is going to be a list of the albums for about the first third of the first half of the year that I'm pretty sure are coming out that I am anticipating. And then later in the list, some albums from artists that haven't gotten dates yet and artists that haven't announced or anything, but I'm hoping they drop something this year. I'm hoping I'm going to hear something from them this year. So we're just going to take it pretty casual in this video, not too many goofy edits or anything like that. We're just going to go through this list of albums I am anticipating. Let's kick it off with February, because January is pretty much over at this point. Big Sean has a new album coming out at the very start of February. Not to say I'm excited for a Big Sean album, but I am definitely going to be listening to it and most likely giving my thoughts on it. It's titled I Decided. Pretty interesting title for Big Sean. For the rest of February, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to the new Surfer Blood album, Snowdonia. Definitely wondering what's going to go on there. Leanne Rimes' latest record, Remnants. Not saying like I'm promising a review on that, but I am curious as to what's going to go on there because I remember when I was a kid, a lot of people were making a big deal out of Leanne Rimes. Lupe Fiasco has a new album coming out soon, Drogas Light. That's also coming out in February. I'm curious as to what's going to be going on over there. We also have Teen Days dropping a new record, Themes for Dying Earth, that I am morbidly curious about, though I've never been like a hardcore fan. And Thievery Corporation, a group that I don't remember people talking about like since I was much, much younger. The Temple of I and I, they have a new record coming out in February as well. February just dense with album releases, it seems. Coming out in the middle of the month, we have Jens Lekman has a new album coming out in February. We have Ryan Adams, Tim Darcy of Ought, a new record Saturday Night. I'm actually looking forward to his solo debut there. Looking to see if he kind of stands well on his own. He does seem like a very quirky and sort of eclectic frontman when he's in front of Ought, but it seems like he's playing a little more straight on the solo stuff so far. Also in February, we have Dirty Projectors dropping a new record. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are going to be dropping one of their 4 or 5 albums of 2017 that they have said they're going to drop. The first one's going to be dropping in February. Los Campesinos, Sick Scenes. I'm actually looking forward to that record. And the Feelies, morbidly curious about that record. Piss Jeans, Why Love Now, having an album drop in February. Some noise rock there. Some post-hardcore there, why not? Thundercat and Shoo Shoo also dropping in February. Thundercat with the record Drunk, Shoo Shoo with Forget. And Sun Kill Moon at the very, very end of the month, the Common as Light and Love Are Red Valleys of Blood album. So those are pretty much our February albums. As far as March, Blank Mass of Fuck Buttons fame has a new album coming out. Granddaddy is making their return with a new album titled Last Place. Moving on from there, Minus the Bear. Haven't heard from them in a while, but not really like all that curious, honestly. Never been like a huge fan. But Sleaford Mods, English Tapes. They have a new project coming out. I was wondering if they were going to do something this year. Temples, I'm curious, though I've never been a fan. Y with the album Molan. They have a new album coming out. Though I've never been a hardcore Y fan, I am curious as to what is on that record. Also in March, we have Laura Marling and Raekwon. Laura Marling with Semper Femina, Raekwon with The Wild. Square Pushers Shoba Leader 1 project is dropping an album called Electrack, and The Shins with the album Heartworms. That's at the start of March. Moving on from there to the next week, it's Spoon Hot Thoughts, their album I am very curious about, given that the title track, the lead single from that album was so good. Moving on from there, we have Mount Eerie, A Crow Looked at Me. That's going to be a dark record. That's going to be a heavy record. I'm looking forward to that album, but I'm also not looking forward to that album because I know it's going to be a heavy, heavy album. some very sad themes on that record for sure. Paul Bearer with the album Heartless. I'm kind of curious if they pull through on this one. And the Jesus and Mary Chain are actually making their comeback in the month of March too, with the record Damage and Joy. And Wolf Eyes with the album Undertow. Maybe it'll be one of their more aggressive outings and noisy and experimental outings this time around. I found their last record a little unadventurous for them, but they were just trying something a little different for them. It didn't seem to be anything all too new in the grander scheme of things, but Wolf Eyes, definitely looking forward to seeing what they're going to do on this Undertow record. Amy Mann, hopefully she's going to kill it on her latest record, Mental Illness. Very bold title there, very bold choice of title at the end of March. And British Sea Power. I was wondering for a while what's been going on with British Sea Power. Let the Dancers Inherit Their Party is the name of their new record. Is coming out at the end of March. Goldfrapp with Silver Eye. And Julia Holter is coming out with a live album at the end of March, which could be very beautiful. Pharmacon with Contact, that'll be harsh and abrasive as hell. And Wire, Silver Lead, though I'm not really all that excited about it because a lot of Wire's newer material is pretty mediocre, in my opinion. I'm not anticipating anything really from this new album. And Jamiroquai is making their return with the album Automaton. So maybe that'll be kind of, I don't know, decent. I'm not sure. And also Chaz Bundick meets the Matson 2. I know nothing about this project. I know Chaz's name is on it, so I'm just, I don't know, I'm sitting here like, what's going to go on here? What's Chaz doing? I'm kind of weirded out. For the month of April, we have Father John Misty coming out with a new album, Pure Comedy. Really looking forward to that because I loved his last record so much. And the lead single from this record is so, I don't know, it seems like he's trending towards some more political themes in his music, which could be very polarizing. We'll see. Guided by Voices, though, they always drop a lot of material. They're pretty prolific, but, just letting Guided by Voices fans know. They're still at it. They're still doing it. And Timber Timbre, they have a new record coming out, though I thought the first single they dropped from it was kind of, underwhelming. I don't know. It makes me really sad, but I am still curious as to what's going to go on with that record. That's pretty much it so far for like the solid album release dates, the concrete album release dates. I will say also Drake has promised he's going to drop his album before the end of February from what I have seen, so anticipate that Drake record very soon. Also Mew dropping a new record very soon, though I've never been a huge Mew fan. I will probably give that album a shot, most likely. Now, as far as that was all stuff I was looking at on my laptop over there. I have a list over here. As far as artists who I know should be dropping this year, there are heavy rumors of particular artists dropping records this year. Let's see. We have Alice Glass. People have been waiting for Alice Glass to drop her solo debut ever since there's been a new Crystal Castles record. She said she's going to drop solo stuff. Hopefully it ends up being better than the last Crystal Castles record because that was very mediocre. Arcade Fire, new single with Mavis Staples, though that was more in reaction to Donald Trump. There's still, rumors of Arcade Fire dropping a record this year. Charlie XCX, Depeche Mode, they're dropping a record this year, though they have not put it on a date yet. Ed Sheeran, same thing. His Division record is coming out this year. And the Gorillaz album, too. People are anticipating that Gorillaz album, though I'm not sure where it's going to fall within the year. Gucci Mane, I'm sure, is going to come out with 15 projects at some point this year. GZA has a new album slated to release this year, as does the band Haim, I believe. Some people have been talking about them dropping something this year. And also, it's not just Sun Kill Moon dropping a record. It's not just Mark Kozilek dropping a record this year. It's also another Sun Kill Moon and Jesu or Yesu collaborative project. I guess they saw, sort of some fruitful collabs coming out of their last joint album together, and they've decided to do another this year. Joey Badass has a new record coming out this year, and will Kanye drop TurboGrafx 16? I'm not sure. He said he was going to drop it at some point last year, and maybe it was just an idea in his head. Maybe it's something he had been working on and had almost finished, and he wanted to put it out last year, and it just wasn't in the cards, and it's being pushed back to this year. I don't know. He hasn't really talked about it a lot. But TurboGrafx 16, I'm still waiting for it. I'm still crossing my fingers for it. Mastodon has a new record coming out this year. People have been talking about Modest Mouse dropping a new record this year, though Their last one was pretty lackluster. I'm not really sure what Modest Mouse is going to do on a new album. Hopefully Queens of Stone Age come through with a new record. I've been hearing some people reference Queens of Stone Age putting out a new record this year. Spiritualized, I hope they drop something. St. Vincent, I hope she drops something this year. Vampire Weekend, crossing my fingers. Your Old Droog, New York rapper Your Old Droog, has told me that he's dropping something this year, so I'm waiting for that album to come out. And Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine has dropped some solo material, and will that lead to a new full-length album? I'm not entirely sure. And that's it for, like, you know, what people have been sort of rumored as dropping this year. As far as stuff that I'm hoping comes out this year, you know, personal favorites of mine, I'm hoping I hear some music from Igloo Ghost this year. That fantastic EP that he dropped the year before last is still stuck in my head, and I'm hoping for a new album this year. Also, I want to hear something from Flying Lotus. I know he has some work on that film that's dropping this year that people have been sort of very hype about. It would be cool if an album or an EP or something came out as well, but, you know, if not, that film will suffice, and it'll be an interesting project. Milo, my boy Milo, before the flies come, is he going to drop something else this year? I mean, for sure, if not under his own name, there will probably be some, you know, more Scallops Hotel stuff. But I'm wondering if there's going to be more Milo material this year. Open Mike Eagle? Bus Driver? I don't know. Moving on from there, the Underachievers, are they going to drop something? Their last record, that double sort of conceptual album that they put out was pretty decent, actually very good, and sort of wondering where they're going to take things from there. Fka Twigs, the queen of alternative R&B, is she going to drop something weird and left field and crazy and psychedelic this year? I don't know. The Mountain Goats, are they going to drop something this year? Really liked their last album, Beat the Champ, quite a bit. Interesting concept for a record, and will they follow it up with another great album? And here's question numero uno. Will Death Grips be silent in 2017? Will Death Grips be quiet in 2017? Are they going to drop something? Because, I mean, I don't know. They had a pretty incredible 2016. That EP dropped, that full-length album dropped. Every year up until this point, they've dropped something. So I don't think it's very likely they're going to be quiet for the entirety of 2017. But if they will drop something this year, if they're going to drop something this year, what? You know, will they just come through with another sort of traditionally released, kind of measured and somewhat predictable new full-length album, sort of like what Bottomless Pit was? Or are they going to find a new way to sort of fuck with their fans again and just do something completely insane and off the wall and reinvent their PR campaign once again and sort of, you know, continue to break the rule book of how artists disseminate music in the modern age? So I'm actually pretty excited for Death Grips to do something in 2017, not just because of the musical potential, but because of that way that they continue to push the envelope as far as like being a band in regards to performance art. So I'm pretty interested to see what's going to go on there. Clarence Clarity, I want to hear something from Clarence Clarity this year. Certainly was hinting, you know, towards something with that same EP he dropped last year. Will we hear a new album? I would love to hear a follow-up to Know Now. I've been banging that record still, and it's still an incredible pop album, still an incredibly progressive and imaginative pop album. He's really ahead of the curve, I think. Everything. Are they going to drop a new album? You know, really like their last record. Fleet Foxes have a new album coming out this year. They've been talking of releasing a record. Robin Pecknold has been writing, and I'm sort of wondering what's going to happen with their new stuff. Dean Blunt. Is there going to be a new Dean Blunt record this year? Not just a new Dean Blunt album, but a new Dean Blunt album that sort of reaches everybody. His last project was sort of more of an exclusive project on Bandcamp, and then he had that Baby Father project. I'm sort of wondering what he's going to do in 2017. Will it be a bigger, wider release that more people will sort of grab a hold of and will sort of gain more buzz? Ariel Pink, he has a new EP out with Wise Blood, but will he drop a new full-length album, a solo project this year? Perfume Genius, would love to hear more Perfume Genius music. Would love to hear new Ice Age music. New music from Ice Age would be amazing. Liars, would love to hear more Liars. Wondering what Madlib is going to do this year. Maybe MF Doom will do something this year. And finally, what's Freddie Gibbs going to do this year? Because Freddie Gibbs sort of had a lot of his 2016 dominated by these legal issues he was having over in Europe. And now that he's back over here in the States, he's been released. What's he going to do? Is he going to come out with a new album soon? Is he going to be collaborating with a producer for the length of an entire album? Is he going to work with a bunch of different producers? Like, what's going to happen here? So yeah, that's it. Those are basically the artists that I'm looking forward to hearing something from this year. And yeah, that's it. Let me know down in the comments what you are anticipating musically in 2017. And next time I sort of see you guys in this kind of anticipation music video album, song, artist capacity will probably be later in June or July, and I'll sort of do a list of things that I'm looking for the second half of the year. And that's it. Oh, and also, fucking At the Drive-In should be dropping a record this year at some point, and I'm wondering what that's going to shape up to be like. So throwing in that last one on, and I'm sure there are lots of other artists and albums that have been announced or have been announcing that have sort of flown over my head here. So please, throw those down in the comments because I do read them. The stuff that you guys are looking forward to this year that, is either in addition to what I'm anticipating, stuff that slipped by me, or stuff you're sort of agreeing with me on, like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that new Gorillaz album as well, Mr. Antonio Fantonio. And that's it. You guys are the best. Transition. Have you anticipated any albums for 2017? If you have, let me know what they are, okay? All sorts of links next to my head, other videos, channel subscription, official website. Click on one of them, or leave a comment telling me your favorite thing about anime. Forever.